What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Alright, so I've been playing Battlefield 2042 for a few days now, and I just really wanted to play around with the settings and, just test different settings out. But I finally found, what works best for me, and so I just wanted to make a video like I said. Right now I'm in the default settings, so everything that you see and that you hear is by default. So yeah, this is just the general feel and the general look. Anyways, let's dive into the settings, shall we? All right, so first things first, in the general tab, you're gonna notice that here it says custom. I don't know why it's inverted by default. I like to turn this off just because everything is not inverted. And here, next up, we got camera shake amount. I really wish it was possible for us to turn it down to 50. I don't know if it's just a visual bug, but it's only 50 for me. So, but yeah, at least we're able to reduce it as much as we could. Here, we're pretty much gonna leave everything on. It's fine. And next up, we got the display tab. Now, this is very important because field of view is really beneficial, for us to see more horizontally. But the problem is that this is a vertical field of view, so it is not a one-to-one aspect ratio. So like, I needed to convert it to vertical to horizontal field of view. So I just went online, just find a vertical to horizontal FOV calculator, and it's pretty much going to tell you. I usually play on 100 FOV, so 68 is the equivalent of 100. 68 vertical is the equivalent of 100 horizontal. So you really need to calculate it and go check it for yourself. I'm going to leave, the site down below in the description. So yeah, it's going to help you. Here for my vehicle, I pretty much like it the same as, my current field of view. So I'll leave it at 68. Next up, ADS field of view is really important. This is kind of like the independent and affected setting in Call of Duty. So, you really want it to be affected by your field of view. So whatever you set your field of view to be, then whenever you zoom, it's going to be the same as your current field of view. It's not going to go back to the default one. We really don't want it to really zoom in and like see less, Here, next up in the graphics settings, still in the display tab, we really want to put motion blur down. This is not beneficial at all. This is mostly like if you're playing like the campaign, but there is no campaign for now, or I don't think there'll ever be. But yeah, so it's like in terms of gunfight, you don't really need this. Same thing for chromatic aberration, film grain, vignette, lens distortion. All of these, just turn them down, turn them off. You really don't need them. Next up, we're not going to change anything in our HUD or our HUD display. It's fine like this. Crosshair as well. For me, my minimap, I do want to see a little bit more, and I want to see like the most that I could, so I'll leave it at 100. I really want it to be super visible. Rotate with view, it really depends on you. I like it when it rotates. Some people don't like it, so they turn it off. That really depends on you, like I said. Minimap view distance on foot, I like a little bit more, so I'll raise it up a bit, like 60. 120 ground air vehicles, I personally never tried vehicles, so I think they're fine at 120, 200. You could see enough, on your mini map. Next up, we're gonna go in sound. I generally like turning music down or at 50%. It really depends on like the game. In Warzone, just because it's just super distracting, I turn it off. But in games like Battlefield, I guess it's fine. It's to give you kind of like the feel. I don't know why it's really slow, but we're finally at 50. Sound configuration, I'll just leave it on auto. Audio mix, I'm gonna turn it to headphones. I don't know why 3D headphones was really bad for me. It's like it was telling me the exact position, like from behind, below, above, in front of me, but it was kind of like throwing me off because the enemies would be like 50, 75 meters away from me, but it would tell me like they're right beside me. So I would get scared sometimes, kind of like check, but then he's a little bit further, so it caught me off guard. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep this on. Everything is default. Subtitles, I like to keep it small. It's a normal by default, but I do want to read, so I'm not going to turn it off completely, but I want it smaller just so I'm not distracted or it doesn't go in a way. Next up is the controller tab. This is, I'd say, like the most important tab. Depending on if you like meleeing with your circle or your B button, then you really want to turn it to alternate, but I like it in default since I like crouching with my B or my circle if you're on PlayStation. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it at default. here in global, you want to turn controller vibration off. It really depends if you like it on or not, but I don't like it, so I'm just gonna turn it off. And here I think is the most important is on foot. This is the controller and soldier aim sensitivity, just tab and area. So you really want to bump this up, depending on like how fast you play. I generally play like on a 9/8 sense, so I think like a 59 is around that area. So just, you know, I'd say start at 50. If it's too fast for you, put it down. You know, slow it down. If it's too slow, then bump it up. Of course, I found that 59 is really like the perfect one for me. I don't need inverted. This is just, you know, for certain people, you know, if you like playing an inverted. Field of view, like I said, this is the vertical one, so we already said it. Aim assist, you know, zoom snap, we want it to be 100. It still feels weird. It says that it's 100, but it still doesn't feel as strong. And sometimes it's really like inconsistent, but hey, 100, you know, it's there for us. Here, we're just gonna leave this to normal, whatever. You could change these. I'm not really gonna mess with these. I don't like parachute auto deploy. Just like in Warzone, I turn it off, so this is off by default. Air spawn parachute auto deploy, I do want this on though, so whenever I spawn, you know, like I want my parachute to already be deployed. Quick throw grenades off. Revive interaction, this is going to be toggle. So yeah, and here is going to be a toggle as well. I don't really like to hold it. I just like pressing X. If no one can revive me, then I'm just going to give up. Here we got some hints, you know, just to tell you if you need to reload. The advanced settings, this is the aiming left right acceleration. So I like to just bump this up a tiny bit to like 60, just, you know, by 10, just because I feel like it's a little bit slow when I'm like aiming in. I don't know why it's like that, but yeah, so just bump it up a bit. But if it's too fast for you, of course, reduce it or keep it at 50. Here we're gonna turn this off. This is really not necessary for us. I don't know what the setting is exactly, but I found that it's not really like beneficial, so we're gonna turn it off. Here I'm gonna, you know, bump this down a bit to 90. Everything that's below like 4, basically, I'm gonna put it to 90. And I think like anything above 4, it's like kind of like sniper territory for me. So I'm just gonna like put it at like 110, you know. It's just so I could like snap a bit. Of course, these could be tweaked a bit more, you know, depending on like how you like to snipe, if you like flicking or if you just like to be as accurate as possible. Here, vehicle aim sensitivity, same thing. I really like to have it at 59, same as my default one. We already set this. Leave this at default. Pretty much gonna leave this everything here in default. And the next important thing is controller tuning. Of course, we already turned controller vibration off. But here for my dead stick, for my left stick rather, I'm gonna set this to maybe 15, just because I have like really a stick drift with my left stick. Axial dead zone here, I'm just gonna leave it as is. Here for my right stick though, this is for my aiming, so I'm gonna bump it a little bit lower. And yeah, pretty much in here I'm gonna put my threshold to 5, you know, the lowest as I could, since, you know, it's not really like a important feature. We just need to like shoot, you know, and aim as fast as possible. There's no like feedback or, you know, feeling that we need to set or have. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it as is pretty much here. This is the settings that you need, and I found that were really like the best. Accessibility, like I said, these were already changed like in the past 4 settings that we changed, so we don't really need to change it anymore. Here we got controller mapping. This is really if you want to change your thing. I don't want to change it. So yeah, this is pretty much like the settings that I like. As you guys can see here, now it really feels like a little bit better. Movement is slightly better as well, you know, aiming, boom, you know, you're ready. The only thing that I find really weird is just movement overall. Like when I'm moving, there's a little bit of like that weird stutter. I don't know if it's just the game or if it's just my settings as well. But yeah, these are like pretty much the settings that I found out were you know, really beneficial for me. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Let me know, you know, what are your settings. If there's something else that you would change or anything that I missed, let me know. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.